I know you're probably laughing at me messing around with this camera, but it is great to be here. Thank you for the love. Thank you for all of those of you who are joining. My name is Michael Williams, and as I've been telling you, I've been so excited to do these scopes that I've been doing them every day, and more than likely I will not do one tomorrow, but I will try to do these every day. Thank you. Laughing will catch you. Yeah. Thank you very much for joining me. What are we going to talk about today? What we're going to talk about today is the power of speaking with authority. The power of speaking with authority. So whether you're speaking on Periscope, whether you're speaking live at your job or at church or work or school, wherever it is, there are some benefits of you being able to speak with authority. And we touched on this a day or two ago, and we're going to talk about it again today. And for sure, if you're just joining, you can watch the replay. What I'd like to ask you to do is, if you have questions, just hold them for a little bit. Hold them for a little bit, because I'm going to give you an opportunity throughout this broadcast to ask me questions. If you have comments, please feel free to make those at any time. But I do thank you for taking the time out of your day to join me. So let's jump right into it. We're going to talk about speaking with authority. Now, when we say speaking with authority, what are we talking about? Well, in this word authority, there's a word, right? There's a word embedded in it, and it's author. It's author, right? So when you look up the word authority or authoritative, what you're going to find is you're going to see this word author, and an author is the originator, right? It's the creator. An author is also a promoter of something. So when you speak with authority, what you're doing is you're speaking about something that comes from you. It's something that you created, right? You're the source of it. What are some of the benefits of speaking with authority? What are some of the benefits, and then how do you do it? Well, there are some benefits to you as the speaker, as the presenter, and there are some benefits to your audience, right? Benefits to you, speaking with authority, and benefits to your audience. So let's talk about at least one of the benefits to your audience. When you're speaking with authority, what happens is your audience sees you as someone who's confident. Your audience trusts you more. Your audience is more likely to believe what you're saying. Now, if you are sharing some information that you believe can help or transform the lives of others, one of the things you want is you want for people to first listen to you, to understand what you're saying, that's clarity, but also to believe you, right? Because if you're sharing something that can help them, that can change their lives, you want them to believe it. You want them to believe you and to take action on what you're saying. So if they don't believe you, if they don't believe that you know what you're talking about, they're not going to take any action. They're not going to listen to you. They're not going to trust you. They're not going to believe you. So being able, so being able to speak with authority benefits your audience, because they'll listen to you and they will more than likely be more influenced by you. And what about at work? If you're giving a presentation, and you've probably seen people give a presentation and they have their notes. Give me just a second. So they're sitting there and they got, that's a matter of authority. Yes, exactly. So they have their notes and they're sitting there and they're going like, well, okay, so today we're going to talk, hold on a second, that slide, right? So, man, what was I about to say, right? So if someone's doing all that stuff, they're not going to be speaking with a high level of authority, and you're probably not going to really believe what they're saying. Does that make sense? So when you speak with authority, your audience has more confidence in you. Your audience has the ability to be persuaded by you. So if you're at work and you're giving a presentation and you need people to listen to you, you need to be able to persuade them to do something, to take some action. They're going to be able to do that. They're going to be able to do that if you're speaking with authority. Does that make sense? Now, what are some of the benefits to you? What are some of the benefits to you when you're speaking with authority. And we're going to get into how to speak with authority too. There are 5 P's I'm going to share with you. Not all today. I'm just going to share one with you. But what are some of the benefits to you when you speak with authority? You feel, now listen, you feel more confident when you're speaking with a sense of authority. Let me unpack this a little. When you are speaking with authority, you're speaking about something that you have personal knowledge and personal experience of, right? When you're speaking with authority, you feel more confident. You have a grasp of the material, right? You can use notes, but you don't need notes. You can use slides, but you don't need slides, right? You're the author of that information. So therefore, you are speaking with a greater authority, okay? And we'll talk about how you can get there. But when you feel more confident, something that I call the confident, competent cycle. Someone just said, I've been doing what you're saying without realizing it. Absolutely. There are a lot of things that we do just intuitively, or things that we've learned, and sometimes we don't really realize it. So there's something that I call the confidence-competence cycle, and that says this. The more confident you feel, and you guys have experienced this, the more confident you feel, then the more competently you're likely to perform. That is, you're able to perform better. When you feel more confident, sometimes you have just seen this, where you felt confident, you performed, you're like, oh my goodness, I didn't know I could do that, right? You felt confident, so you performed better. Now here's the cycle. When you perform better, when you're more competent, you're more likely to feel more confident. You said, hey, look at what I just did, right? Look at what I just did. Well, I did a great job. That builds your confidence. So I notice that when I'm speaking, my voice is a little shaky. Yes, that can happen. But what will happen is, over time, as you perform better, your confidence increases, and guess what? The cycle begins, and then your competence. So like things like a shaky voice, the more you practice and the more you learn to smooth out your voice and so forth and so on, the more you see that happening, the more confident you feel. The more confident you feel, the more likely you're going to be able to speak smoother with a more steady voice. This is one of the benefits to you as the speaker. You feel more confident when you're speaking with authority. So let's get into this. You've heard me talk about speaking with authority, and then I'm going to wrap this up. There are 5 P's. I'm going to share one of them with you now, right? And then I'll tell you what the next one will be. 5 P's. This is the kind of stuff now, what I'm talking about now, this is the kind of stuff that builds the foundation for excellent, clear, confident speech. This is the kind of stuff you don't necessarily always read in the books or see in the videos or get in the programs. But this is the kind of stuff that separates the grown-ups from the kids, right? The pros from those who are not pros. So here it is. Here's one of the P's when we talk about speaking with authority. When you speak about something, you want to speak about something that you're passionate about. You want to speak about something about which you are passionate. Why? Because when you're passionate about what you're talking about, what you're presenting on, you're going to be more likely to transfer that excitement and that energy and that enthusiasm to your audience. But if you're talking about something that you're not passionate about, then what's going to happen is your audience is going to get bored, you're going to get bored, and you're not going to be able to speak with that authority. So you got to be passionate about what you're... So if you're in a field, let's just say you're in accounting, but you're not passionate about it. So if you're giving a report, more than likely, now of course you can do this, you're more than likely not going to be able to give that report with the kind of authority that you could if you were passionate about numbers and passionate about accounting. So whatever you're presenting, whatever you're speaking about, make sure that you're passionate about it and that you communicate, you transfer that passion into your audience. Everything I do with passion or I won't do it. Man, thank you for that. That's very important. I'm glad you said that. And then I'm going to pause for questions and then we're going to wrap it up. Thank you for saying that, because whenever I talk about something, whenever I do a business or do a presentation, I make sure that I'm passionate about it, right? I make sure that it's something that I can get excited about, because if I can't get excited about it, then I might as well not do it. Now, there are some things that we have to do that we just can't or don't or won't get excited about, and that's life. But if I'm going to be presenting, doggone it, I'm going to make sure that I'm either already even cleaning my house. Yes, that's right. I'm going to make sure that I am passionate about it or that I can find something passionate in what I'm doing. So passion, believe it or not, is a critical element in helping you speak with authority. So now, let's say you want to do a Periscope or you're going to be doing a presentation at work or whatever. Make sure that whatever you're talking about, the topic, you either are already passionate about it or you can find something within it that makes you excited, that makes you passionate, because you're going to be more likely to feel more confident and therefore to perform better. You're going to be more likely to communicate this energy, this enthusiasm, this excitement, this power, this authority when you're passionate about the topic or subject. Okay? Now, in the next scope, we're going to be talking about, let me just see, but if I don't find the subject interesting, it's hard to sound passionate. Great comment, and I'm going to use that as a question. So at this point, let me just, if you have comments or questions, please feel free to share those. What if I don't feel passionate about it? There's been times where I've had to talk about stuff I'm not passionate about. And what I'll do is, if you remember, I'll find something in that, right? I'll find something in that I can be passionate about. So if I'm giving a report about something, right, that's not something I'm very excited about, I'm going to look for something in that report or some kind of way to present it, or yes, the impact that it can have on other people. I'm going to look for something that can energize me, because otherwise I might as well not do it, right? Find something. And that leads us to what we're going to talk about next week, and that's the second P, which is personal. Personal. And then the third P is related as personalized, right? When you talk about something that's personal, you can be more passionate about it. So, going back to this passion thing, what if there's something you're not passionate about? It's hard to get passionate about. Find something, even if it's like, you know what, I'm not real passionate about this material, but the impact it's going to have on other people, that drives me, that gets me excited. So I'm going to get excited about this. I'm going to at least pretend that I'm excited. Makes sense. Awesome comment. Thank you. Any other comments or questions? So remember, the next scope, we're going to be talking about personalizing whatever it is that you're talking about. Personalizing it, or making sure that it's personal, right? Love you, thanks. Love you too, and thank you so much for your comments. Personalizing. So think about that. Come to the next scope with some ideas and some questions or comments about speaking about something that comes from in here, something that's personal. Personal, right? Because remember, when you speak with authority, you are the author of the information, you're the source. So even if you've compiled information from other sources, you want to personalize it. You want to make it yours. You've heard people say that. Make it yours, make it yours. Then you'll be able to speak with more authority. I want to encourage all of you to please visit my website, presentwithpower.net, presentwithpower.net. I got just a little questionnaire down there. I'd like for you to answer. I mean, literally this will take like less than a minute. Answer a couple of questions for me. Tell me what you'd like for me to scope on. Now, I've got some things that I'm going to be working through, but I want to make sure that I'm on track, that I'm incorporating your thoughts and your ideas. I'm not going to spam you, right? You might also want to check out my other website, pro90d.com. I've been on the web for a long time. You can just go to Google and type in Michael Williams speech, and you'll see all the stuff that I've been doing. Presentwithpower.net. Yes, that's it. Thinking of my speech as author is very empowering. Yes. Is that correct? That is correct. Presentwithpower.net. Visit that and answer that questionnaire for me. It'll be extremely helpful for me to know the kinds of things that you want me to cover, the kinds of things that you might be struggling with. Okay? Very, very helpful. Again, I'm not going to spam you. Yeah, you'll get some email from me about them, but I'm not going to spam you. And I want you to follow me, and I want you to share this scope with other people, because we're going to be doing some awesome stuff. And if you want to scope, or you want to present live, or you do present live already, I mean, some of you are out there, you're business people, whatever, I'm going to be sharing some of the best stuff on the globe with you. Now, how do I know this? And then I'm going to wrap up. I really am going to wrap up. I've been working for years with people that struggle with their speech. Fear of public speaking, situational stuttering, people that stutter like severely or just a little bit, or people that speak really fast, or people that want to improve the way that they speak live. So I've been doing this for years and helping people become excellent speakers who struggle with their speech. People from around the world. Just talked to a guy today from Australia. I mean, literally. So I'm pretty good at what I do. And it's not about me being better than someone else. Yeah, you can watch a scope and you can find people that speak better than I do, right? That's not the point. The point is for you to be an authority, and for you to also be authentic, which is one of the other things we're going to be yourself. Be yourself, and we'll get to that in another scope. So please do follow me. Thank you very much for the love, for the hearts. Thank you for your comments. Any other comments before we close out? And I will be scoping again, working through the rest of these P's, right? Who can tell me what this first P was? You want to speak with authority, so one of the elements that you want to incorporate is what? I'm going through the John Maxwell Speaker Survey. Thank you for the great information. Thank you. Thank you. Who can tell me, just as a quick review, what was the first P and the only P? How do you deliver to different audiences? All right. I'm going to take that into account as I talk about future scopes. How do you deliver to different audiences? Okay, different demographics. Great. Great question. Who can tell me what the first P was, or the P that we talked about today? What was the P that we talked about today for speaking with authority? Who can share that? Type that in. Type that in for me. P. We said it's very important that you're what when you are speaking with authority. Who can tell me what it was? That you, power, yes. That you are being passionate, absolutely, absolutely. That, yeah, because when you're passionate and you speak with authority, you're more powerful, right? Passion, that's the word. So remember that. If you don't remember anything else, just remember, you know what, if I'm going to give a talk, if I'm going to do a presentation to any kind of audience, man, I gotta find something about this that I'm going to be passionate about. I need to be passionate about this because people are going to see that. They're going to feel that, and therefore I'm going to transfer my authority. Any other questions or comments? I do remember someone mentioned about speaking to different audiences. I'm going to address that as we work through these things. Any other comments or questions? Thank you for all the love, and I'll see you in the next scope. This is Michael Williams. I really enjoyed this. We'll see you next time, okay?